This is your weekend market review for Friday, December 29th, 2023. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to success. This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent, and this is your weekend market review for Friday, December 29th, 2023. If I don't talk to you before, Happy New Year. Wow, this year has flown by pretty wild. Lot to talk about. Again, as we've talked about, the most overbought conditions that I've seen in my lifetime. Going into the end of the month, thought there would be some profit taking. Again, talked about potentially rolling up profits if you had longs, putting on shorts, and being patient. And defining your risk. If you're wrong and you got stopped out, no worries. Keep the losses small, but the risk versus reward, the potential versus realized that you could get, in my mind, the biggest opportunities were shorts. A lot of people didn't want to hear that, but again, we talked about identifying first and last 3 business days of the month are typically inflection points. Let's go to the videotape. If you're new to the channel, check out the Discord room, a link in the description below. This is hilarious. I mean, we talked about this, why banks are a big problem, in my opinion. We'll see if it happens in the end. They get the bailout or they do become the problem. Yeah, check out the Discord room, link in the description below. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Check this out. Again, all the back to basics, educational videos, 52 of them. So if you can't find something a topic that you want, let me know. And also too, I didn't realize that most people who watch these videos aren't subscribers. Not why, I don't know. Also check out thetradingagent.com. Please get the recommended reading books. There's only 3. And one is literally just an almanac for 2024. Get your Marcus, your interactive brokers. I'm telling you, there's going to be a brokerage that goes belly up. I mean, again, it's just a matter of not if, when. And then get your 5.5%. Playa. Also follow on Twitter, again, posting things that I think are relevant. I appreciate all you guys. You know, if you're following, like, subscribe, leave a comment. You know how it is. It's interesting because today ended up going to the ski hill and got a phone call about somebody looking to securitize commodities out there, and people are sitting on all sorts of longer term debt paper, not necessarily related to this stuff. Oh, sorry. But in general, that anything commodity related, just keeping an eye on long term. Again, when is the Fed pivot? Well, it's looking like March, right? We're at 72% as of yesterday. Let's hit the refresh button. I don't think it's January. I mean, it was at 15% in January yesterday. So right now, 3%. We like it when the Feds pivot. But again, I think they throw the baby out with the bathwater, and that's where you got to be ready to angle. Bitcoin, M-top. Again, near term, I don't know if it's just going to go into this big chop zone. We've talked about how Bitcoin is very technical. A lot of people don't like to call it technical, but if you look at the VAP zones, again, too bad I don't have VAP with volume at price showing on here for some reason. But you can look to the left. Spots where the stock bounced around before, we're there now. Now, again, do I think, 20% is pretty typical on pullbacks in Bitcoin. That would take you back to the trend line. I wouldn't be surprised. Oil, as we talked about being heavily short, got squeezed near term. Demand destruction is real. Natural gas is, again, I like natural gas long term. I don't know if it needs to correct. I mean, that's 20% area, but 25%. But again, downside long term, I don't think the $2 range, much lower. So keep an eye. We'll talk about the trade for that. The dollar. Again, not surprised it's bouncing. Remember, it had a big dividend, $1.74 when it was up here. It's basically essentially trading at the 200-day, bouncing. TLT, we talked about watching bonds potentially getting stuck up here. Uh-oh. Zoom out. This is resistance. Now, could we spike up here? Maybe, but just keep an eye on it. VIX, talk about it's an absolute gift to be selling out of the money calls to buy in the money puts, I think, in my opinion. Give yourself time. Selling shorter dated calls, buying longer dated puts, in my opinion. That is the trade. Vixen. And people say, I don't give trades. Again, risk. Do your own homework. I'm trying to give you ideas. We've seen the Vixen's bottom. We talked about the Vivix leading. Look at this. Starting to make higher highs. I mean, that candle, I don't count that wick. I mean, higher lows. Again, these trades to me make sense if you define your risk. Again, if you're not familiar with how to do these trades, use the Calendly link, hit me up. If you're just watching, learning, again, do small. Don't go crazy. Don't go sell as many calls as you can to buy as many puts as you can, period. SPY, volume picking up, pivot point. Again, we talked about chop top First and last 3 business days of the month, typically when the markets, right, can extreme. Because again, window dressing, people don't want to own or they want to sell into these times to show their statements, right? Hedge funds, institutions, mutual funds, all that kind of crap. We talked about chop tops. I mean, you can go back and look. First and last 3 business days. Don't ever forget that. QQQ. Again, these names are looking like do they blow out? I don't know. But they look like they're ready to turn over. We talked about the IWM. Everybody and their mom is long calls. Uh-oh. Talked about that yesterday's recap. Dia, choppy up here. Again, will it follow through? Gold. Again, love gold long term, but this is the problem, is they will throw the baby out the bathwater. Hedge funds, institutions, when they get redemptions, they have to sell. They even have to sell the winners. And this is the thing. I'm not saying that gold or Bitcoin or maybe some of the things that you think are strong long term with commodities in my mind. I don't know if they'll get absolutely destroyed, but I know there'll be pullbacks, so why not wait? Again, silver's not confirming it. The GDX isn't confirming. The GDXJ, look at these names, lagging. And people thought the silver should be at 30. I'm sorry, 23 or 21. GDXJ, look at these names. Like, zoom out. Like, they're nowhere. Like, the gold is ripping towards highs, and these funds are in half their price. Someone knows something. Credit issues affect miners. AG, chopping. AEM, chopping. Newmont. Like, Newmont should be in the 60s, guys. Like, zoom out. Like, this thing was at, I was going to say almost 90. What was the exact? 86. It's trading at 40. It's obviously been smashed, but here it comes. Into the 200-day. Backs off. PAAS. Again, we like the silver names. I think silver has a lot of upside long term. But here we go. It's just basing. Do you want to get stuck in this trap? The sideways action. In my opinion, you don't. Taiwan Semi said this yesterday. Been saying it for all week. Looks like China is basically flexing, saying that they're going to reunite China and Taiwan. What the heck? Why would you want to buy that? Micron, we talked about blowout. Their earnings revenue beat of 1%. This massive gap up. Somebody was selling, but then they marked it up with the market. Keep an eye on it. That looks like a top. AMD, got to give it credit. Strong. Don't short the stronger stocks until you confirm. I don't know when to confirm it. I would say more the 8-day because this thing's been riding the rocket ship. Keep an eye on it. I know. NVIDIA, choppy top. Now you have a reference. If you want to short this, Nancy Pelosi's December 2024 120 calls, I guarantee she has some pair trade against that. Keep an eye on that. Intel, got that Israeli contract gapped up. Keep an eye on it. Again, I mean, I thought Intel was a good short. Stopped out. I stopped out. I lose. You lose. We all lose. Don't get mad about it. Move on. There's other trades. Focus on other things. SMH looks like a little... I mean, imagine if you saw like divergences. I imagine there's divergences everywhere in this new high. Keep an eye on it. Adobe, we talked about this one, gapping down in earnings. We've seen earnings names gap down in earnings and then not bounce as much as people would think. 20-day. We talked about Apple being crapple. Said, hey, nice little bounce. Double top, easy. Amazon said, watch it up here, chop top. You have references. Needs to break back under this trend line. CRM, riding the upper trend bound. Breaks the 8-day. Here comes the 20-day. Then after that, holy crap, the gap. I mean, this thing went nuts. GOOG, we talked about the fake breakout. Look at this, giving it back. Keeping on it, holding the 8-day. Meta, thank God. Told you guys, bought some longer term puts. Finally. It's like a matter of when. Like, Zuckerberg is selling as fast as he can. Last time he sold as fast as he can, this is what happened. Kapow. Why is he selling now? We'll see. Again, I like longer dated puts on this. Define your risk. Again, be willing to lose X amount for the potential to make a big monster because this thing could get burned. I don't see how they're generating more revenue growth. They might be generating revenue, but they're not growing the revenues. Like social media, get out of here. Instagram, Meta. I mean, there's competition. And again, in a recession, slower economy, people aren't paying for that crap. Microsoft 20-day. NDAQ said, loved it at 55.86. Back over the highs. Clearly, you got to watch this 57.85. MicroStrategy said yesterday it looked a little funky and wonky. Look at the volume up here. 3 days of constant volume over the highs. Extremely. At worst, it pullbacks and chops, or it could be ready to roll over. Because again, it's obviously following Bitcoin. It's your guess as good as mine on Bitcoin. Again, I think it's an M top going down. Again, how deep? Not probably huge, but it could. Netflix chopping up at the 500 level. Roblox, we watched the references highs chopping. This one could fail. I mean, I don't like shorting Roblox. I think they're a buyout target. Tesla, fake break out. We said watch this 265 area. Look at that, man. 1 day, 2 days, give it back. Airbnb, my favorite short, just keep on burning. Keep on burning. Costco, we talked about getting stopped out because they did announce that big ex-div, big dividend, pay out $15. Why would you hold it now? In my opinion. Starbucks, global growth name, dead. FedEx, we talked about this dead cat bouncing post earnings because everybody believed it'd be awesome. Said the 100-day was possible. Pick your spot. I mean, somewhere in this area makes sense to me. 250s, low 250s. Caterpillar, man, I hope I didn't miss this skiing today. I really want to see this trend line, trend bound, 300 short, in my opinion. Gotta get out of here. Nucor, we talked about watching the upper 170s. XDiv, X. Again, not X, United States Steel. People are like, oh, should I short this? I'm like, it's tough with a takeout target. I think they have multiple offers. I mean, the downside is a couple points. That's all. VALE, because I don't think we will sell the Nippon Steel. VALE, we talked about global growth name that's been just stuck in this chop zone. I mean, I don't know. Back test some trend lines. This is why you draw them. Doink. Arrow. This one earlier in the year was on fire. Fire. Burned. We talked about holding this trend line with decent volume. Now bouncing up to resistance. Remember, this was once support. Is now resistance. Again, love these names. Let them pull back. CCJ, one that's been on fire. Again, wrong about this one. But now it looks like a chop top. 20 days turning down. CF. Again, I love ag names long term. Come down. Come to me. Zoom out. Let these things just get in the chop zone, get burnt, get beaten down, blow off with huge volume. Buy them. Just not yet, in my opinion. Could be wrong, but I would wait. Again, they throw the baby out with the bathwater. When the market, I mean, the VIX is at 12. Do you think this bear market, as supposedly what it is, in a recession coming, the VIX peaked at 36? I've seen more VIX pops to 50 on less. I think that this bear market's over. Again, study the 1970s. I've talked about this 73, 74 chart. I'll post it. It's posted at the very end of this video. Hit pause. You can see it. AA, we talked about high volume, bouncing. Probably stuck in the, I don't know why I don't have this. I mean, I technically probably should blow up this blue zone and just put it somewhere in the, I don't know, 37. Let's just do this. So, I mean, that's a wide range, but it's going to be hard to break over this. Look to the left. Always look left. Zoom out. It's going to be hard. Financials. Hallelujah. Talk about, well, again, it's not technically busted yet, but here you go. Channel high, a reference high, upside target zone. Keep an eye on this. I love the shorts up here. JP Mo, again, whatever. They're involved with a lot of the stuff. I thought this was the top, but here you go. A little retest, watching the levels. Again, we talk about retests happen all the time. Morgan Stanley, again, I like these names. Now that you have references. Chopping, I mean, know that 95 could happen. Bank of America, know that 33s is a major chop zone. Set your stops. Tighten them up. Goldman Sachs, could it get the higher fib? This one's a little trickier because Goldman can be like kind of wild, but look to the left. Look to the left. This area matters. Carry, we talked about 0% chance, in my opinion, this breaks over 53. Like, breaks out over and continues going higher. Now you have a lower high potentially. Look to the left. Like, look at this candle. The biggest volume other than the low. There's some stuck players in there. What up, player? You stuck. XBI, reference high. My man Joe talking about it. Maybe P-Bird. I can't remember. Some of you guys looking at it. That looks like a left-right combo. Doji pivot point at the reference. Wow, imagine how that works. We said solar's trash. I mean, we said that months ago. Said let it bounce. Again, I don't know the references as well on these because, again, these things have been absolutely beaten. I mean, but I think they could go much lower in time. Just know your references. You got to do your little due diligence. Again, here, let me add my own alert. If that thing's with 145, I'm probably shorting it. First Solar, we like it short here, but again, know your reference. Is the 200-day possible? I don't know. Oil, talked about it, oversold. bouncing, chopping around, whatever. UNG, lay off this thing. If you want to play natural gas, my opinion is short cold on big pops. Big pops. Like big pops. This thing gets absolutely deterioration trash. The best is obviously up here. I mean, I don't know if you want to connect. Again, I don't really like to technically. I'd watch. I mean, maybe 100s plus, but define your risk. Remember, this is a wild one. This might be one where you sell out of the money calls and buy some puts at the money. Again, define your risk. Do not blindly hold anything or follow me like I know anything for sure. I'm trying to give you it's a probability-based game. Highest probability trades, but they don't always work out. It's like going to play poker, getting pocket aces. You can still lose. Exxon bouncing here at the chop zone. We talked about watching this. Valero. These names have ceilings, clearly. Same thing with MPC, but they're not getting them over. And they start just chopping around. At some point, gasoline demand, a problem. CVE, some people like this one. Again, I like junior names. You saw the volume. I just would love this thing to play out here and just play this game. You see my alert. Blow out the bottom, trap, get everyone in this range to dump, break it to 13, and then boom, it'll flip. I know I've seen that game before. Occidental. It's not an accident. We talked about big chop zone, same kind of thing. Like take out the lows. Let me move this up. Well, actually, yeah, you've got yeah. Same kind of thing. Let these names get punished, and they bounce back. EQT, again, we talked about shorting the 44 area. Just, I know, probably heading back down to 28. And then last but not least, I think we're a big natural gas exporter in time. Let this thing, 8% dividend. Let them beat the shiznit out of this. That would be awesome. I got an alert at 25, maybe even lower. Who knows? Again, if you have any questions about real estate, please reach out. Doing a lot of work in creative finance. I know there's a lot of folks out there who don't think they can afford to buy a house. Creative finance is back, baby. When interest rates get back over 6%, and you have people who have locked in 2.5% to 3.5% mortgages, and you have people who have tons of equity, 30% of mortgages in this, or 30% of the houses in America don't have a mortgage. Creative finance is back. You don't need to go begging to the bank. That's going to make you run through the ringer. There's people trapped that are looking to get out, and if you're willing to pay more and get creative with the finance, there's some win-wins for both the seller and the buyers. Always here to help. Let me know how I can help. I'd love you guys. Have a great weekend, holiday weekend. Happy New Year's. Talk to you soon. Peace. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, your PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.